Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows, movies, books, who knows at this point, that they live in. My name is Quarantine Ron, and let's talk about Altered Carbon, Resleeved. So we talked about season 1 and 2 of the show. Now let's talk about this animated movie that came out of nowhere. So Resleeved is pretty much a standalone Altered Carbon story. I say pretty much because you'll still benefit from only watching this after you've watched at least season 1 of the show. It's not a great introduction into the Altered Carbon world, even though they do cover the basics of, how stacks work and all of that, but they do assume that you know who Takeshi Kovacs is, the main character of the series. Having said all of that, there is still more than enough fun to be had here, even if you haven't watched the show at all. I forgot how to talk. Because this movie is pretty great. Resleeved follows Takeshi on another mission. This time he has to infiltrate a crime organization and investigate the death of a Yakuza boss, while also protecting this girl who plays a crucial role in the whole mystery. I'm not going to get into that part too much. The movie is animated in the same cel-shaded 3D anime style that Netflix seems to be a big fan of lately, and I was a little bit worried about that at first because some of the stuff that they put out in this style was really choppy and stiff and robotic and weird, and for something that has so much action like this movie, it would really ruin the whole experience. On the other hand, you have masterpieces like Castlevania, which is just perfect, and the animation is smooth and does justice to the action and character design, and it's more on the traditional side of animation. So I was very pleasantly surprised by Resleeved because the animation is great. You do get some robo movements, but when it counts in the action scenes, it looks amazing, and there are a lot of action scenes. This movie is really mostly action scenes. I actually feel that Resleeved does a better job at continuing the Altered Carbon story than season 2 did, because they essentially took the same formula that worked really well in season 1. There's a detective story at the center of the whole thing, a mystery that Takeshi needs to figure out, and it takes place in an interesting and new setting. And we do get some insight into the character, admittedly not much. As I said, this is not a great intro into this world, but if you're already familiar with the character, it's a really fun ride. The story itself is interesting. I mean, it isn't anything incredibly gripping, but it carries you from one awesome set piece into the next, and it does introduce you to some cool new characters. This is something that you watch mostly to appreciate the incredible artwork and the incredible fight scenes that were clearly thought out very carefully. In terms of reveals and twists, there's only so much that a story like this can do with the whole concept of stacks and people moving from body to body. The twist is always going to be that this person is actually that person. So it does lose its edge at some point, but they do introduce new concepts about, how honor and loyalty can work in a world where everybody can essentially be immortal. So I really enjoyed this movie. I actually wish that this story was season 2, just explored more deeply and added, layers of insights into Takeshi and the other main characters. I hope they make more of these. I tried watching it both with the original Japanese audio and the English version. The English version is pretty bad. I mean, it's not unwatchable. You can definitely watch it if you don't want to read subtitles, although, come on, just read subtitles like the rest of us. But the Japanese version did feel like it fit so much better with the overall story and the aesthetic. This is a pretty short movie, so there isn't much I can say. There isn't much else I can say without really going into spoilers. So bottom line, should you watch it? Yes, if you liked Altered Carbon Season 1 at least, then definitely watch this. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this. If you don't really want to watch Season 1 just to watch this movie, I'd say at least watch a recap or read a little bit about the story and the world, because this whole world of Altered Carbon does really have some really cool concepts that aren't explored in this movie but are referred to here and there. But the focus is definitely amazing action set pieces, and it's all very, very cool. Jun, hey baby. What did you think about Altered Carbon? Did you like it? Oh, careful. Here we go. In any case, I'm interested to learn what you thought about this movie if you watched it, and if you watched it with or without seeing the show first. If you're going to be talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments. And if you're finding Binge Watchers for the first time, welcome. Okay, I have to stop my daughter from destroying everything, so keep binging and I'll see you next time.